Kamali taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on NewsFeed today. Pakistan and India face off at the border and online. Back on Facebook, Russian-sponsored pages are unblocked. Musk can't help himself. Trouble at Tesla thanks to a tweet again. This is what a 4-year-old in Canada thinks of hockey practice. At the top of our newsfeed, India and Pakistan. Now, Indian jets crossed into Pakistani territory earlier today. According to tweets from the Pakistani military, bombs dropped by the jets fell into an open area, killing no one. The Indian government tell a different story. They told Reuters that their bombs destroyed a terrorist camp and killed 300 militants in what they called preemptive non-military action. Now, meetings have been convened by high commands in both nations as the fight over the narrative intensifies. The nuclear-armed states are fighting a war of rhetoric right now. It remains to be seen when that rhetoric becomes something else. Rebecca is in Mumbai.
There have been mixed statements from India and Pakistan in terms of what actually happened. India says that its airstrike successfully destroyed the biggest Jaish-e-Mohammed camp. That's the group, the militant group, which claimed responsibility for the Kashmir attack almost 2 weeks ago. On Pakistan's side, its army has come out with a statement saying that India's jets did cross over the line of control, but that Pakistan scrambled and managed to chase them off, dropping their payload, but not actually causing damage or casualties. Now, the views that are being expressed on social media very much reflect these differing opinions that we're seeing. For example, here we have a Pakistan-based journalist. She uses the hashtag fake surgical strike 2. Now, she uses a picture which was issued by Pakistan's army, which was used in conjunction with the statement that there weren't any casualties as a result of this attempted attack by India. And then she circles here highlighting a tree that was damaged as they dropped those bombs, but that was in an open area according to Pakistan. That's the narrative that we're seeing from Pakistan on social media, that a lot of people seem to be saying that they don't really believe that the attack took place in the way that India has said that it did. Turning to a comment from India, here one Twitter user says it's not an act of war, but a counterattack in self-defense by India. Certainly there are a lot of people in India who are very much in support of this attack, and they're saying on social media that they're happy that India has reacted in the way that they have done following that deadly attack in Kashmir. If we look at this comment, it says, "Very unfortunate. Both Pakistan and India need to show restraint, patience and tolerance. War is not at all an option on the table between two nuclear states. There should be dialogue between Pakistan and India on all bilateral issues as responsible nuclear states. Peace is the only option." However, with this latest incident, there doesn't seem to be any sign of tensions between Pakistan and India easing very soon.
And next up, some of the most popular pages on Facebook have been reopened after they were suspended last week. So did Facebook bow to pressure? Did they realise that silencing voices they don't like doesn't stop them? Or is something else going on? Here's Akanksha.
These pages are now back and available on Facebook, just days after they had been blocked following a CNN report that claimed they were pushing Russian propaganda. The pages are run by Mafek Media, which gets its funding from the Russian government. The most popular is In the Now, which has 4 million subscribers. The US website The Hill published a response from Facebook.
We reached out to Mafek Media to request that they disclose the affiliation of their pages with its parent companies. The required information has now been added to the About section of these pages to indicate their affiliation with RT and Ruppli, so people can learn who's behind the pages they're interacting with on Facebook.
The reinstatement was cautiously welcomed by Mafek Media,
After 10 days down, all Mavic pages, including In the Now, are back up. We had to put an unprecedented disclaimer in our About section. No channel has ever been required to do that. Let's hope this policy will be rolled out and be required of all channels, not just ones that say things some people don't like.
But they pointed out they were now being held to a higher standard than other channels. Facebook suspended the 4 Mavic-run pages on February 15th, after a CNN investigation suggested they were propaganda pages backed by Russian state television. Those who work on the channels had reacted with anger at the time.
I can choose my own topics, write my own scripts, and produce my own content without input from anybody else.
Facebook has faced criticism in the US and all over the world for their suspected role in altering opinions ahead of elections. The question they have to answer now: did the censorship work?
Okay, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. Now, Elon Musk has got himself into trouble again for tweeting. Again, when will he learn? Now, this time he risks being found in contempt of court for writing this. 4,000 Tesla cars loaded in San Fran for Europe. Tesla made 0 cars in 2011, but will make 500K in 2019. Now, so far, so boastful. The problem is that Musk is banned from posting anything about Tesla that could be used by investors because of a tweet he did last year. For a guy who's meant to be genius, he sure makes plenty of silly mistakes. Video of this plane coming into land in strong winds has gone viral. It happened in Gibraltar and the plane was operated, or is operated, by British Airways. The pilot made the sensible decision to divert to another airport where it landed safely. No one was hurt. Staying with planes, a woman found a python stowed away in her shoe after returning from Australia. It was a small spotted python and is non-venomous, a real-life snake on a plane. That film came out in 2006, which should make you feel old. And talking of animals in unusual places, this fish is on a windscreen. Not such an exciting film title, but I do digress. This happened in Malta after a storm. A fish farm was damaged just offshore and the mega waves led to this fishy free-for-all. Disney surprised the internet by dropping a new trailer for The Lion King. It looks amazing, and hopefully the rumours that it will be close to a shot-for-shot remake are true, considering the success that director Jon Favreau had with his Jungle Book. Well, some nations are making a real go of trying to save the planet, but we all need to do our bit. And we can get some inspiration from a little Central American nation.
La tarea titánica y hermosa de abolir el uso de los combustibles fósiles en nuestra economía para dar paso al uso de energías limpias y renovables. La descarbonización es la gran tarea de nuestra generación.
And one country that really is not heeding any warnings is the United States. In fact, their current leader is doing everything he can to make climate change and global warming worse in a number of ways. One, he wants to reopen coal mines. Two, he's pulling the US out of the Paris Climate Change Agreement. And three, he refuses to admit climate change is real and man-made. Oh, and the US is one of the most wasteful countries on the planet. Go USA.
Is the United States of America the king of trash? Americans make up 4% of the world's population, but create 30% of the planet's total waste. And here's how. Americans toss about half a kilo of food per person per day, which adds up to around 150,000 tons. And the healthier their diets, the more wasteful they are. Americans toss out 60 million plastic bottles a day and use up 100 billion plastic shopping bags every year. They only recycle about 9% of their plastic waste, so most of the rest ends up in landfills. And a lot is washed out to the sea. It's estimated there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish by the year 2050. America is the second biggest producer of hazardous waste after Russia. There are more than 1,300 Superfund sites, places where toxic chemicals have been dumped by factories for decades, polluting surrounding soil, water, and air. The US produces more nuclear waste than any other nation, but it still doesn't have a permanent solution for getting rid of it. There are more than 90,000 metric tons of nuclear waste sitting around, and the number is only expected to get even bigger.
Around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Tuesday. Jean-Claude Juncker, the head of the European Commission, took a phone call during a press conference yesterday and got a pretty good laugh from the audience and the internet. Have a look.
Merci. Alors. It was the usual suspect, my wife.
And the best part, this is not the first time Mr. Juncker has thought it funny to take calls while during press conferences. Have a look at this from July 2017.
Prime Minister Fico, you have the floor.
No, it was Miss Merkel.
R. Kelly has been released on a $100,000 bond after his arrest for sexual abuse allegations. The singer is facing 10 charges of aggravated sexual assault. He's pled not guilty to all of them. But he had to spend the night in jail as he was unable to immediately raise the funds he needed. Now, lots of parents take videos of their kids doing silly things every day, but they don't always get millions of people watching them. Well, this next video has. It's had over 4 million people enjoying watching a 4-year-old at hockey practice after his dad hid a mic in his pocket to see what a 4-year-old thinks about when they're on the ice. And spoiler, it ain't hockey. Have a listen.
One, two. Okay, it's okay. Ow. I gotta have a nap. Okay. Let me go, you old fat can. Ow! You old pink can. Old pink can. Okay. I wanna go to McDonald's.
But he's still way better at hockey than I will ever be. That is all from the NewsFeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. I'm at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter and YouTube, and you can, if you want, follow me on Instagram. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again very soon.